The neighborhood was quiet enough that night for people to hear their own footsteps. It was the kind of American street where nothing ever seemed to happen. Neatly trimmed lawns, porch lights glowing softly, and neighbors who had lived there for years without incident. That's why, when police received the call, they assumed it would be routine, a welfare check, possibly a domestic dispute, nothing that would stay with them long after their shift ended. They were wrong. When officers arrived at the house, there were no signs of forced entry. The front door was locked, windows were intact. From the outside, everything looked normal. Too normal. Inside, however, they discovered a crime scene so unsettling that one detective later said it changed how he slept at night. The victim was a woman in her early 30s. Friends described her as reliable, organized, and deeply private. She had a steady job, paid her bills on time, and followed a predictable routine. Every morning, she left for work at the same time. Every evening, she returned home, parked in the same spot, and locked her door. When she didn't show up for work and failed to answer her phone for 2 days straight, her employer contacted her family. That call set everything in motion. Inside the house, nothing appeared disturbed. No overturned furniture, no broken glass, no obvious struggle. But in the bedroom, police found her body carefully positioned on the bed. That alone was unusual. Most violent crimes leave chaos behind. This one felt deliberate, controlled, almost staged. The medical examiner later confirmed she had been dead for more than 48 hours. The cause of death was blunt force trauma. But what disturbed investigators most was not how she died, it was what was missing. There were no defensive wounds, no scratches, no bruises suggesting a fight. It was as if she never saw it coming. Detectives began reconstructing her final days. Phone records showed no frantic calls, no threats, no arguments. Her last outgoing message was casual, sent to a close friend about dinner plans later that week. Plans she would never make. Security cameras from nearby homes showed nothing out of the ordinary. No strangers, no suspicious vehicles, just her car pulling into the driveway the night she disappeared from everyone's radar. She walked inside alone. That was the last time anyone saw her alive. Attention quickly turned to the people closest to her: friends, coworkers, family, and eventually her boyfriend. They had been together for just under a year. On the surface, their relationship appeared stable. No police reports, no restraining orders, no history of violence. He was cooperative with investigators at first, calm and composed during questioning. He said they had dinner together 2 nights before her death. According to him, they argued briefly about something trivial. He left, that was it. But detectives noticed something subtle. His timeline didn't match the digital evidence. Cell phone pings placed him near the house hours later than he claimed. At first, it seemed like a technical error, but when investigators dug deeper, they discovered his phone had been turned off for nearly 3 hours that night. When it powered back on, connected to a tower miles away. He said the battery died. Police weren't convinced. They obtained a warrant to search his car. Inside the trunk, they found traces of soil and fibers consistent with the victim's backyard. Not enough to arrest him, but enough to keep watching. The real breakthrough came from something almost overlooked: a neighbor's doorbell camera. At 2:14 a.m., a shadow passed briefly through the frame. No face, no clear image, just a figure standing near the victim's front door, then stepping away. Minutes later, the porch light flicked off. That detail haunted investigators. Why turn off the light? When confronted with the footage, the boyfriend's story changed. He admitted he went back to talk. He claimed she was already dead when he arrived. Panic, he said, made him leave. But panic doesn't explain precision. Forensic analysis revealed the crime scene had been cleaned, not thoroughly, but selectively. High-touch areas were wiped down. Handles, switches, surfaces someone familiar with the house would instinctively use. this wasn't random violence, this was personal. Under further questioning, the cracks widened. Investigators learned the victim had recently told friends she was thinking about ending the relationship. She felt watched, controlled. She had started documenting small things, arguments, strange comments, moments that made her uncomfortable. She never filed a report. She thought she was overreacting. She wasn't. During the trial, prosecutors laid out a chilling narrative. The argument that night wasn't trivial. It was about control, about her independence, about her leaving. When she turned away, he snapped. One blow, then another. Silence. Afterwards, he tried to erase what he had done, not out of remorse, but fear. The jury didn't deliberate long. He was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to decades behind bars. In court, he never looked at the victim's family, not once. But even with a conviction, the case left scars. Detectives spoke openly about how disturbing it was, not because of extreme violence, but because of how quiet it all was. No screams, no witnesses, no warning signs that anyone took seriously enough. It forced police departments across the country to reevaluate cases involving intimate partners and subtle patterns of control. It reminded families and friends that danger doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it hides behind normal routines and familiar faces. Today, the house has new owners. The porch light still turns on every night. Most neighbors don't talk about what happened there anymore. But those who know, remember. Because the most disturbing crimes aren't always the ones that look violent from the outside. They're the ones that happen quietly, behind locked doors, where trust becomes a weapon, and by the time anyone noticed, it's already too late.